CBS. Great to have you.
Thanks, Heather. Good to be with you and Bob.
So explain to everyone at home, how would this work? Alternate electors, and would that be legal?
Yeah, so you can actually have alternate electors. They should go by statute, and the Republican electors did the best they could. They're not sanctioned by the governor, so they're sworn in, but the governor did not certify them as not sending them to Congress. And then you move into congressional debate and whatnot. It's kind of like what Ruth Bader Ginsburg said in about 15, 20 years ago when she was talking in a dissent in Gore v. Bush. She said, the most important day is January 6th constitutionally. And the reason that is because that's when Congress either accepts a state's slate or they reject that slate.
So we've heard about this effort, which I assume would be on the same day, on January 6th, of Congressman Mo Brooks, like Biggs and Brooks are getting them confused. But anyway, Mo Brooks has this plan of what he's going to do on January 6th. Do you support that plan, and how would this play into that?
Yeah, I right now I'm leaning in heavy support of that plan because we've seen so many allegations. We've actually seen double votes in Nevada and everything. I won't get into that, but let's just say that I'm like Rand Paul. I think there was a lot of fraud here, and that's important when you consider whether you're going to object. By the way, don't ever forget that in 2017, that's exactly what the Democrats did. They objected to the sitting of President Trump's electors, and they did it in 2005. So this is not without precedent, what Mo has suggested. And I'm with him on that because there's just been so much fraud out there that we need to actually make the point. Now, the way that works is if you don't have a senator, then you don't even get to debate it.
Right.
If you do get a senator, then each side gets to debate it, and then you have a floor vote in both the House and in the Senate.
Yeah, and I understand at least a couple senators are not closing the door on the possibility of joining, Rand Paul being one of those. I want to move on to this next topic. The Republicans in multiple states are urging President Trump to veto the end-of-year omnibus spending bill. I know that you've tweeted about that. You've been on social media. Why do they want him to veto, and how do you feel?
Well, I'm with that. I've kind of led a letter of my colleagues asking the president to veto it, and I've provided him notice of that. Look, what you have going here is the spending is just outrageous. Right now, they're going to add the COVID bill to that because they want that as a must-pass. But while you and I sit here talking, you have lobbyists from K Street and you have Democrats putting in pet projects and extra spending into this bill. This bill actually does everything from reduce the amount of money the president can use to build and secure a wall. It actually continues Planned Parenthood funding. It actually continues giving money to colleges, universities, K-12, where they can continue to teach people to hate America. The point is, it is expanding government. We're way over the caps that were originally put in place to make sure that we would come into balance one day. And we're going to be pushing well over $30 trillion in national debt because of this bill.
Is the alternate government shutdown, though, is that better?
Well, you don't have to have a government shutdown. I mean, because they're not even going to get this bill out in time, Heather, so they're going to do another short-term spending bill probably for 2 or 3 days. Well, you could do a short-term spending bill for 2 or 3 months. You could continue on while we actually try to resolve this excess spending that goes on. Yeah. But our colleagues who love to spend money aren't going to change their minds on that, I'm afraid.
Well, we have a deadline that I actually have to stick to with this interview, and so we're out of time. Congressman Andy Biggs, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.